Hi, this is Dr. Coyle with a quick how-to on where you can post on the discussion forum your podcast reviews. This is the Start Here page. I've logged on to my Blackboard account, hit my Blackboard, selected this course, our podcasting course, COM 346N. Now there'll be a couple of differences in mine. For example, there are some editing tools here. Statistics tracking, for example, helps me keep track of how many people read this particular post or get here. And you should recognize the rest of the Start Here page. I'll probably put this video tutorial right up here as the first item, so the Start Here page will look a little differently. How to get to the discussion forum, in particular this assignment, pretty easily, although some of the links are pretty small. Go down here along the left-hand side, go to Discussion Board, click on the link there, and that will take you to Discussion Board. Students Podcast Reviews is the next link to go to. Click on that. And then finally, the specific assignments for this week, and there will be new threads coming for the coming weeks. First week, post by 3 o'clock p.m., January 27th. Click on that. That's a link. I could tell it was blue. And you will come to here, to this page. And again, it will look very similar to what the student view is. I just have a few extra capabilities in editing this. I repeated the information. Every post is to have the title of the podcast, the episode number, the URL or web address where we can find it, how you found out this podcast, how you found it, a description of the format, names of host or hosts, topics, and so on, particular for this episode. Describe the podcaster's intended audience as you imagine it. Now, maybe the podcaster will say, but if not, try to project, try to infer what the intended audience is. And finally, your 200 to 250 word review of the podcast episode, including highlighting the contents, your reaction to the podcast, and what was most important to you. The way you get your post in here is to reply to this first item, to the item that has the list. And you click the reply button, and a posting window will come up. And then just follow what was above there. It's right above you there, a prompt there that will help you know what to do. The title of the podcast, as an example, is Human Nature. Interesting. That's the name of it. And I'm just going to get started here. Episode 5. It's one of the episodes I listened to. Number 2 is the URL. Now, I copied and pasted it, but I think it might be for a different episode. We'll see. But just paste it in there. Catch and release. Yes, that's a different one. That's episode 4. Okay, and copying and pasting is the easy way to do that. The purpose of this is to let us be able to listen to the podcast, find the podcast later on. Item number 3 is how I found it. I found out about this series from an email, and I could revise that later on and give you the name of the actual newsletter that I found it. Then a description format. Format is interview source, interview, mostly guest, telling the story. Host. The host for the series is Carolyn Ballard. And yeah, we can do that. And the topic for this episode is interesting. We may or may not play this episode in class, but I'd fill that out there. And then my review. Describe the podcaster's intended audience, general public. And you see me typing here without any word correction type stuff, autocorrect going on. General public interested in persons And then 6 would be my review, a reaction, review and reaction. Now, I may have written this up ahead of time and may copy and paste it and so on. But then when I've finished it, I can save the draft as in draft mode if I need to come back and finish it later, or I could submit the post just by clicking submit there. So it should be here now. We have some posts by Cassandra, has posted, as has Mary, and I'm probably the third one here. Now, I obviously need to add some more. So that is basically how to do it. Again, we can go to follow the breadcrumb trail. We're on the thread first week, post by 3 o'clock p.m. January 27th. And go backwards. One level up is the forum, students' podcast reviews, and then discussion board. So again, we go to discussion board. Using the link here would be normally how you would do it. And right now, students' podcast reviews. And you'll see the six required elements there. And we're going to sort them by week. So this first week, and this has the information. And when you're ready to write your reviews, click on reply to this first message here. And then when you're finished writing, submit it. And that's all there is to it. And when you're finished with that, if you want to just have a cheery wave goodbye from your instructor, Dr. Coyle, you could go to faculty information, and that will get you there. So I hope this tutorial helps you, and I'm looking forward to reading more and listening to the podcasts.